Dominique Ollivier is under fire for some extravagant spending while she did in her last job. We're talking about fancy meals and trips. She's now the head of the executive committee and city councillor for Projet Montréal. When she did this spending, she was president of the OCPM, that's the Office de Consultation Publique de Montréal. She spoke to CJAD 800 yesterday, and Ollivier said she regrets it. It was a mistake.
At some point, everybody must say, this was maybe not my best move, and that's a bit like I feel right now. If I had to redo it today, of course not. I wouldn't do it that way.
So she says she should be held accountable for her actions and has offered to reimburse some of the money out of her own pocket. The opposition has called for Olivier's resignation, and I once again right away thought of Sue Montgomery, former mayor of Côte-des-Neiges and Notre-Dame-de-Grâce, because I figured she'd have something to say about it. Sue joins us now. Hello, Sue.
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right. What's your reaction to this situation?
Well, I had to sort of think it over for a bit. Hats off to Dominique for coming forward and speaking to the media, and I'm sure that was the media strategy, like get out ahead of the story and mention the good work that the OCPM has done on racism and so on. Nothing to see here, folks, move along. Mm-hmm. But obviously Valérie Plante didn't move to kick her out of caucus. And so it makes me feel, well, maybe Valérie has learned a few lessons from the experience with me. I mean, she kicked me out because I refused to do something illegal, which was to fire my chief of staff without due process. It would have been wrongful dismissal. And in this case, she's sort of saying, I stand by my, second in command here, the president of the executive committee, and Dominique has come out and said, she would do things differently. So, I'm hoping that the mayor has learned a lesson about acting too quickly to kick people out.
Do you think Dominique Ollivier should resign?
I don't think so. I mean, this is something that she did in a previous job. I do think that the city needs more transparency. I think it's unfortunate that the reporters that did this story from the Journal de Montréal, they had to go through access to information. And when they got the documents, they were all redacted. I mean, this is public money, and all of this information should be readily available to anyone online. But I find the city is so secretive about everything, including things that are obviously public. Like if you try to search online for things that have happened at city council or at borough council, it's impossible. It's impossible to do a search, find things. So I really think that we need to push for more transparency. And because, this is our money and we need to know how it's being spent. I mean, myself as mayor, I couldn't even get my hands on the full budget. Like, I wanted to know where every cent of $65 million budget was being spent, and all I was given was broad strokes, So I find it, that would instill a lot more trust in citizens if we could just go to the website and say, oh, this is what they spent on this. And also, it would make people with these expense accounts think twice before they go to fancy restaurants or order oysters or whatever it is, knowing that the public is going to be looking at this.
Yeah, and taking lavish trips. I mean, we know the current president of the OCPM, Isabelle Beaulieu, is also under investigation because of extravagant expenses. I mean, why? How can this even happen in this day and age?
Well,
how do you not know better?
Yeah, well, I think the listeners should know also that every counselor, this was one thing I was shocked by too, they get, I can't remember the exact amount, I think it's around $15,000 expenses, and they don't have to account for it. Like, it's sort of like,
here you go.
You can just spend this money. It's sort of like a little bonus on your salary. And mind you, the counselors aren't paid that much. But like, why not just be transparent about it? Like, this is a bonus on a salary. It's not expensive. So basically, you can go out for dinner with this money. You could go on a trip with this money, but you don't have to account for this money, which is supposedly expense money.
Well, I suppose if one good thing...
And it was tax-free for a long time until I was in office, and then the Fed started taxing it.
All right. So we'll have to leave it there, but I suppose if one good thing comes out of this, perhaps it will be more transparency and a better sense of
I hope
just
so.
doing the right thing. How do you not know better? Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thanks a lot.